Don't you ever let anybody take you, okay? You know? You gonna stay with me? This is my kitty. Okay, you can go. Bye-bye. Oh, sorry. Am I inconveniencing you? I'm inconveniencing her. Keanu stars the comedy duo Key and Peele. I'm just going to refer to them as that throughout the majority of this review because saying their full names will just take so long and it'll get superfluous, and you guys know who they are. Key and Peele. They had their very own sketch comedy show on Comedy Central, and I've always thought they were really funny. They were the best parts of other films that weren't that good of recent years, like Pitch Perfect 2. He was by far my favorite part of that movie. So in this film, the cat Keanu gets catnapped by some gang members. And because of their deep, intense love for this cat, they infiltrate this gang by pretending to be gang members themselves. They gotta act super hardcore to make everyone else like them, when that's really hard for them to do because that's just not who they are. And a lot of comedy comes of that. And this movie surprised the hell out of me. I had such a good time with Keanu. I found it really funny. And a lot of that is due to the incredible chemistry between Key and Peele, as well as some really great writing, some jokes on common racial stereotypes, and the way they turn those on their heads and make the best of it without being overly offensive. I really found clever and tons of fun. For the first 2 acts anyway, it really hits. I saw this with a packed theater and I was one of the loudest people laughing, which is really rare for me. I'm usually kind of a more reserved laugher. I was guffawing, just flat out spitting with laughter at some of the jokes in this movie. Just for the scene alone in which Key tries to explain to his newfound gang friends that George Michaels is a really hard dude. Oh my god. I was dying. But I keep coming back to that chemistry because that chemistry between them is so strong, and it's so easy to really gravitate towards that because obviously they're friends, they make tons of things together, they make a lot of content together, and they're very funny together. But it really is important in a movie like this, in which our 2 main heroes are essentially on screen together for almost the entire film. And it really works. It's almost like a modern day, more adult version of Kenan and Kel. There's also a ton of in-jokes towards current films, which is funny because the movie Ratchet and Clank this weekend also did that, but this movie did it far more successfully and a lot more enjoyable. Where the movie faltered for me though was its 3rd act, because it gets very action heavy and it lost a lot of its steam for me because it got really focused on these slow-mo shootouts. I feel like that's just no longer funny. Movies like Casa de Mi Padre did that with Will Ferrell, or The Other Guys, also with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and it's overused. Also, there are a ton of unanswered questions. When the movie is over and certain things are being explained, no spoilers, don't worry, it just causes you to be like, wait, what about that? And what about that? And what about that? And what about that? And that? And that? And suddenly a ton of things that happened previously no longer makes any sense. And it's one of those things where you kind of have to just shrug and go, you know what? It's just one of those comedies. Just have fun with it. Which mostly works because the movie is actually funny. But I have to be honest, when you look back on certain things that happen, the movie kind of falls apart in certain ways because of revelations made towards the end of the film. But I think the majority of people who just want to go see this movie and laugh and have a good time aren't going to care about that as much and will probably forgive those flaws. But someone who is really digging deep into the writing of this movie will probably notice that those things no longer make sense. And it also features the most adorable kitten, or I'm assuming a number of kittens probably played that character, that I've ever seen in a movie. That thing was I just wanted to just take it and just hug it forever. I'm gonna give Keanu a B. Surprising movie. I was not anticipating this at all, but it really took me off guard and I had a great time with it. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.